First time back at the Jam this season, and especially for a couple other players who have either played here on other teams or their first time in general. What's the kind of vibe you're getting from everybody right now?
Just a lot of excitement. A lot of excitement. This is our favorite place to play. We love our fans. We love that we're going to get amazing weather this weekend as well. And just to put our suitcases away for the next 3 weeks, get to sleep in our beds, just stick to our typical routine has been wonderful.
You mentioned getting to put the suitcases away. You guys are here next weekend and then start with Penn State here after that to start conference play. Just how big is it to have that stretch of 3 weeks, almost a month here at home after you've had that non-conference start where you guys are on the road every weekend?
It's a really, really big deal for us, and it's something that we do not take for granted. We know every year starting off the first 3 weeks we're going to be on the road, but then to go on the road and get after it and compete and then now come back home and get to do the same thing but just at home in front of our fans is something that just, like I said, really excites us.
With the various results you've gotten the last few weeks, just how has your team handled that mentally, and where do you think they're at as they come home now, particularly coming off that Duke game?
Yeah, I think they've handled it well. It's tough. We've had a tough schedule, and that's exactly what we want. I know sometimes with the schedule, you can get caught up in just, do we win or do we lose? But what I don't think the outside realizes is every game that we play and what it is doing for us right now and what it's going to do for us down the road. So this team, the urgency that they have right now, they wouldn't have it if we didn't play the schedule. This team's identity and who they are and understanding what is required of them, they wouldn't have that if we did not play the schedule. So the arms that we've seen every arm possible, and that's what we need. So I just think this has been exactly what we want it to be, and I know what it's going to just continue to do for us.
That Duke game was something that both Elon and Emma mentioned as kind of like an inflection point, a turning point for the team, scoring 3 runs in the 7th and then 5 in the 8th. Just what was the feeling within the dugout as you kind of felt that kind of turning late in that game and trying to take that into this next series?
Just their refusal, their grit, their discipline, we will win this game. Sometimes it's interesting. There's plenty of times that you're going to win. You just don't maybe necessarily know when. Like what inning or what it's going to look like. But the most important thing is that you just know. And that's, to me, what was really cool about that game is that they just knew.
Kind of building off that, Mari even said, too, that after Elon's hard ground ball in the later innings of that play, that's when she knew that you guys would win the game. Was there a point from your perspective that you thought, okay, we are going to win this game, whether it came at the beginning or the later innings?
Same thing. I think, I loved how we competed throughout the entire game. We had to go into the 7th and shut them down, and watching us do that, I don't know. I just knew anything's possible for this team. You could just feel them go about that game different than any other game. And again, why? Because of what they have already gone through leading up to the Duke game. I don't know if we just play that game without what was prior to it, if maybe things look different. I think that's what I'm saying. There's little things that you don't get to see maybe so much in a win column or a loss column, but it's a buildup of little things that push you towards what is next. And that's what you could definitely see with the Duke game. So to go, we're going to win this game, that's when you've got some really good stuff.
I know the goal is always to win, but as you head into a home series in front of all your fans, just what is your biggest goal for the team this weekend? Like, what would be outside the wins and the losses, what would be a successful weekend and another step forward for this group?
For them to be who they are. That's what I would say. Like this group, when they are who they are, we are a fun, energetic, crazy group right in the heat of the battle, which I love. I think that is kind of a lethal combination. We are a powerful group that likes to pass the bat, and we are a group on pitching and defense that knows how to get on and off the field quickly. So I think one thing their identity, you've seen it here and there, but I think this past weekend you really got to see it more and more. And we always talk about once you see something, you can't unsee it. And that's what I think of with Duke. You can't unsee that, and neither can our athletes.
What obstacle does the group have to overcome in order to be who they are? Like, is it just one of those things where with time and more experience comes that, or is there something that they kind of need to just break through and then they'll have it?
I think every year, every team has their own identity. And I think the way that identity forms is just being in the fire with each other. I just think that's how your identity comes to, fruition. And so watching them in these past 3 weeks just be in the fire with each other, it has to come out. And so at times you see it come out and then go away and then come out, and then just really to see what they did at Duke, it's like, okay, here it is, and it's going to stay put.
Elon and Harper really started to, cruise over this past couple weekends, and especially this last weekend. What have you been seeing so far from them that you're really liking in your lineup?
Elon and Amari, is that who's? Yeah. Okay. One, their leadership, that we get those guys for 1 year. And since day one, we've talked a lot about having urgency with them on and off the field to get them to settle, to be comfortable, and to just do them and not feel like they have to do anything different. And I that's what I would tell you that I see the most of them, is that they're just really just being them and going for it. They're both extremely competitive. They're both extremely calculated. And so you're seeing those things. I think those things have showed up since the first weekend. But what I think is really starting to make a huge difference with both of them is just the leadership piece. Once you get caught up in leadership and you get caught up in others, you kind of stop worrying about things that are maybe, you're feeling as an individual, because you just start like pushing things outward and onto your teammates. And that's what I really like that they're doing. I love the push that they're giving our teammates, the confidence, the leadership. And then when they do that, I think you get to see in return, it allows them just to play freely and do what they're really good at doing.
Taryn Ho got the start at shortstop all weekend. A couple of big moments for her in the field and with the bat as well. Just what were you excited about for her, making her starting debut in the lineup? And then what was behind the decision for her to be out there instead of Addie at short?
What I loved with Taryn is just Taryn loves to compete. I think the biggest thing that I wanted her to see is that you don't have to make anything too big. Just do you. We always talk about do you and do you well. And I thought she had great composure as a freshman. Starting in that tournament, it could be overwhelming for you, and it wasn't at all. And what I like is that she started and she made some great plays, and then she had a couple plays not go her way, and then instantly just spun it and got right back to what she knows how to do, is make plays. I also loved her ability at the plate. I loved how aggressive she was. She was pretty calculated on what she wanted. She hit the ball hard. When we required her to bunt, she bunted. Like, she just did her job, and I thought she did it really well. So I think with her and Addie and even all the rest of our athletes, I think we thrive on versatility and being able to be versatile. And when we ask you for different things, that you can provide that. And so I love that Taryn was able to do that. And I think you'll continue to see Addie do the same thing.
The versatility was something that really came into effect last weekend, just in terms of like even Amari having to play center field for some time and first base. Just how big is that, just the versatility that transfers like Elon and Amari, who were utility players coming in, have to be able to get your best 9 bats in the lineup and be able to move things around in the field, but you always have your best lineup out there.
I think that's Oregon softball. That's been us since day one. I mean, if you had to describe us with one word, I think that's the word that I would always use. I think in order to be versatile, you have to be extremely athletic. You have to have really good softball IQ and be able to shift from one position to the next. And I think that's something that this group is showing you that they have the ability to do, and that if we have a certain offensive lineup that may require a certain defensive lineup, that we're able to do that. So I think you'll continue to see some different lineups. And for this group, I don't think it's in a negative way. I think it's actually in a really positive way.
Emma talked about how when she's out there with Maddie, it's very, she's very locked down. She's very concentrated. She knows what she's going to do out there, and she knows how to do it well. Are you seeing the same things? What are you seeing from the dugout that you like about her going out there as a freshman and being able to do what she's done?
Yeah, I would say similar to Taryn. I just love her composure. If I was an opponent, I'd be like, gosh, I can't believe she's only a freshman. Like, you can't break her. Like, she gives you nothing. Like, she strikes you out, she gives you nothing. You hit a home run off her, she gives you nothing. I just think she does a great job of really getting caught up in the moment. And then when the moment is done, getting into the next moment. I, again, also think that she's got great older athletes surrounding her, which allows her just not feel like she has to take the whole load. We just need her to do a little piece of it.
Talked about this team being young and old at the same time. How has that kind of played out across these first 3 weeks? Have you seen that experience that the sophomore class, even though they're sophomores, but they had all that experience that they were able to get last year? How are you able to see that play out so far?
Yes, I have. I've seen it, all of it play out. I look at our older ones and some of the transfers that are older and are in the end of their career. And then I look at especially the sophomore class, and they were thrown into the fire last year. And now they're sophomores, but the experience that they have, it's more as an upperclassman. So I think, again, just continuing to watch these guys go and play together and to be challenged together and to create like that overall identity. So they're all under the same identity, and it's not like, well, you're a young experienced athlete, you're an elder experienced athlete. No, it's us together understanding how we need to go about things in one way. And I think that's what you're starting to see with this group.